My friend, listen closely. Not everyone around you wears their true face. Some smile, but behind their eyes lurks a darkness you cannot yet see. They walk beside you, talk with you, even offer a helping hand. But their heart, it is cold, calculating, and void of honor. How many times have you ignored that feeling in your gut? That whisper of doubt? That moment when the air thickens and you sense something is wrong? There are people in this world who thrive on the suffering of others. They manipulate, deceive, and corrode the souls of those too blind to see their true nature. But you will not be blind anymore. Today, you will learn the signs, the evident signs, that an evil person walks beside you. And once you see them, you will never unsee them again. Prepare yourself. The truth is not always easy to bear, but it is always necessary. Let's begin. Sign 1. They manipulate your kindness. They see kindness as a tool, not a virtue. To them, your compassion is not something to be admired. It is something to be exploited. They recognize your empathy, your willingness to help, and your instinct to forgive, and they twist it into something that serves their own interests. At first, they will present themselves as someone in need. They will weave stories of hardship and injustice, painting themselves as a victim of circumstances beyond their control. You, with your open heart, will step forward to help, and that is exactly what they want. They rely on your inability to turn away from suffering, using it as a gateway into your life. They study your reactions, learning exactly how much guilt they need to instill in you to make you comply. Every time you hesitate, they will remind you of the good person you are, the duty you have to be there for others, the moral obligation to never abandon someone in need. But what they never say is that their needs are endless. No matter how much you give, it will never be enough. They will always demand more until you are empty. Over time, they tighten their grip, making your kindness a chain that binds you to them. You will begin to notice the imbalance. Not immediately, but slowly. At first, it's just a few extra favors. Then it's your time, your energy, your peace of mind. You find yourself doing things you don't want to do, just to keep the peace, just to avoid an argument, just to prevent them from accusing you of being selfish. They never say it outright, but their actions scream it. If you truly cared, you would do this for me. They make it seem like helping them is not a choice, but an obligation. And when you finally resist, when you dare to question why it is always you making the sacrifices, they turn the narrative against you. Suddenly, you are the bad person. Suddenly, you are ungrateful, you are cold-hearted, you are abandoning someone who needs you. And so the cycle continues. They make you feel guilty for setting boundaries, for protecting yourself, for daring to say no. You start to second-guess your instincts, to wonder if maybe you really are the problem. But deep down, you know the truth. Kindness should never feel like a burden, like a debt that must constantly be repaid. True kindness is given freely, not demanded. Sign 2. They are masters of lies. They do not just lie, they shape reality itself. Their words are carefully crafted, not merely to deceive, but to control. They understand the power of perception and use it as a weapon. To them, truth is not an absolute. It is a flexible tool, something to be molded and twisted to suit their needs. They do not hesitate when they lie. There is no flicker of doubt, no pause for conscience. Their falsehoods roll off the tongue as easily as the wind moves through the trees, effortless and natural. And that is why people believe them. Their lies are not the desperate fabrications of someone caught in a mistake. They are calculated, precise, and spoken with absolute confidence. They tell you only what you need to hear to drop your guard, to doubt your instincts, to silence your suspicions. They learn what you trust, what you fear, what you hope for, and they weave their deception accordingly. They know how to make their words feel like truth, even when every piece of evidence points in the opposite direction. And if ever they are caught, they simply create another lie to cover the first. Their mastery of deceit is not limited to words alone. It is in their actions, their expressions, their ability to shift blame without hesitation. If you confront them with facts, they do not panic. Instead, they turn the conversation against you. They question your memory, your perception, your ability to understand what really happened. They make you feel as though you are the one who is mistaken, the one who is confused, the one who has misunderstood. They will look you in the eye and swear by their innocence, their sincerity so convincing that even you, with all the proof in your hands, begin to waver. They will paint themselves as the victim, claiming that your accusations are unfair, that you are too suspicious, that your mistrust is a wound they do not deserve. And when they have twisted your own mind against you, when they have made you doubt yourself, they will step back and watch you apologize for ever questioning them. That is their power, the ability to make truth itself feel like a lie, and a lie feel like truth. Sign 3. They take but never give. They exist in a world where everything flows in one direction, toward them. Your time, your energy, your patience, your love, your resources. They take it all, consuming it without hesitation, without gratitude, without even acknowledging the weight of what they are taking from you. At first they seem harmless. They ask for small favors, nothing unreasonable. A little help here, a little sacrifice there. And because you are generous, because you believe in supporting those around you, you give without a second thought. But soon, the requests grow, the demands increase. What once felt like acts of kindness now feel like obligations, expectations placed upon you without permission. And you begin to notice a pattern. When you need something, they are nowhere to be found. When you reach out, your calls go unanswered, your struggles dismissed, your pain ignored. They only appear when there is something to gain, when there is something to be extracted from you. It is never an equal exchange. It is never mutual. You give because you care, but they take because they do not. There is no balance, no reciprocity. They drain you, little by little, piece by piece, until you are left empty, wondering how it happened. And yet they make you believe this is normal. They convince you that this is simply how relationships work, that to love, to be a good friend, to be a good person means to always be available, always be giving, always be the one who sacrifices. And because you have a kind heart, you accept this, believing that one day they will return what you have given. But that day never comes. Because they do not see you as a person with needs, with limits, with boundaries. They see you as a resource, something to be used. And when you finally reach the point where you have nothing left to give, when you are exhausted, drained, and broken, they will not stay to lift you up. They will move on to someone else, someone fresh, someone full, someone who has not yet learned what you now know. And the cycle will begin again. Sign 4. They pretend to be victims. They are never at fault. No matter what happens, no matter how much damage they cause, they always find a way to shift the blame onto someone else. They live in a carefully constructed illusion where they are the perpetual victim, wronged by the world, betrayed by those who dared to stand up to them. They rewrite reality to suit their needs, twisting events, omitting details, fabricating stories until they appear blameless, even righteous. When they hurt others, it is never their responsibility. When they lie, it is because they were forced to. When they betray, it is because they had no choice. They build a narrative where their suffering is always greater than anyone else's, where their pain is the only pain that matters. And they use this illusion to manipulate those around them, drawing sympathy, drawing protection, drawing unwavering loyalty from those who do not yet see the truth. They weaponize pity like a blade, cutting down anyone who dares to challenge them. The moment you confront them, the moment you question their actions, they crumble into a state of sorrow, of injustice, of unbearable distress. Suddenly, they are the ones who have been wronged. Suddenly, your anger, your frustration, your attempts to hold them accountable become acts of cruelty. They make you feel guilty for seeing through their lies, for daring to stand your ground. They make you question yourself. Was I too harsh? Did I misunderstand? Am I being unfair? And before you know it, you are the one apologizing. You are the one making amends. You are the one trying to fix a problem they created. That is their power. They never take responsibility because they have mastered the art of making others carry their burdens for them. And the more you give, the more you sacrifice to make them feel better, the more they will take. Because to them, being a victim is not a tragedy, it is a strategy. Sign 5. They enjoy the suffering of others. There is a darkness in them that is not easily seen at first. They do not always reveal it openly, but if you look closely, if you pay attention, you will notice the subtle signs. A smirk when someone fails, a spark of amusement when others are in pain, a cruel joke disguised as humor, a dismissive shrug when confronted with another's suffering. They do not just lack empathy, they take pleasure in the misfortune of others. It is not enough for them to succeed, they need others to fail. It is not enough for them to be happy, they need others to suffer. And when they see someone in distress, instead of offering comfort, instead of feeling any genuine sorrow, there is satisfaction, a sense of victory, a silent enjoyment that, for once, someone else is feeling the pain they so often wish upon the world. They feed off negativity, off destruction, off chaos. They provoke, they instigate. They set traps for others to fall into, then stand back and watch as everything crumbles. And when it does, they pretend to be innocent. They act surprised, concerned, even supportive, all while hiding the truth. That this was exactly what they wanted. They encourage conflict, whispering words that fuel resentment, pushing people toward arguments and fights, then stepping away as if they had nothing to do with it. And when the damage is done, when friendships are broken, when families are torn apart, when people stand among the ruins of what once was, they feel nothing but satisfaction. Because suffering entertains them. It gives them a sense of power, a feeling of control over others' emotion. They manipulate situations just to watch people struggle, to see them doubt themselves, to make them question their worth. And to them, it is all just a game. A cruel, heartless game where the only thing that matters is that they win and everyone else loses. Sign 6. They divide and isolate. They do not want you strong. They do not want you surrounded by people who love you, who support you, who remind you of your worth. That is dangerous to them, because as long as you have others by your side, as long as you are connected to those who truly care, their influence over you is weak. So they begin their work in silence, carefully, subtly. They plant doubts. They whisper lies disguised as concern. Are you sure that person really likes you? I heard they said something about you. I don't think they actually have your best interests at heart. And at first you do not believe them, you dismiss it. But the seed is planted, and over time it begins to grow. You start to question, to wonder, to second-guess the relationships you once trusted, and that is exactly what they want. Because when you start doubting, when you start pulling away from others, you become easier to control. One by one, they remove the people in your life, not by force, but by manipulation. They create misunderstandings, stir up conflict, distort reality until you no longer know who to trust. Maybe they tell you that your friends don't appreciate you, that your family doesn't respect you, that the people you love have been working against you all along. And when their words alone aren't enough, they create situations that force distance between you and those who care about you. They twist conversations, take things out of context, spread subtle but poisonous rumors that turn friends into strangers. And when the damage is done, when you find yourself standing alone, they step in as the only person left, the only one who understands you. But the truth is, they never wanted to protect you. They wanted to possess you. Because the moment you are alone, the moment they are the only voice left in your life, their control is complete. And once that happens, breaking free becomes nearly impossible. Sign 7. They lack true remorse. They do not feel remorse the way you do. When you make a mistake, when you hurt someone, it stays with you. It weighs on your conscience, urging you to make things right. You apologize not just with words, but with action. You change, you grow. You ensure that you do not repeat the same harm. But they are different. When they hurt others, they do not feel guilt. They do not stay up at night replaying their actions, wondering how they could have been better. Instead, they justify, they excuse, they shift the blame. If they apologize, it is not because they regret what they have done. It is because they have something to gain from it. Their words are empty, spoken only to manipulate, to smooth things over, to avoid consequences. They say what they think you need to hear, but nothing changes, because deep down they do not believe they were wrong. They do not care about the pain they caused, only about the inconvenience of being caught. And if you press them, if you try to make them see the harm they have done, they will turn it against you. They will make you feel guilty for bringing it up, for holding on to the past, for not just moving on. They will accuse you of being too sensitive, too unforgiving, too difficult. They will make you question whether you are the one at fault for expecting accountability. And when enough time passes, when they think you have forgotten, they will do it again. The same lies, the same betrayals, the same cruel words disguised as care. Because without true remorse, there is no change. Without guilt, there is no lesson learned. And without the ability to feel the pain they cause, they will never stop causing it. Sign 8. They are always in conflict. Chaos follows them wherever they go. It does not matter what the situation is, who is involved, or how peaceful things were before. They will find a way to create conflict. At first, it seems coincidental. Small arguments, misunderstandings, tension that wasn't there before. But over time, a pattern emerges. Every place they go, every relationship they form, every group they become a part of, eventually falls into turmoil. And yet, they never take responsibility. To them, it is always someone else's fault. Someone else was rude. Someone else was dishonest. Someone else was unreasonable. They claim they are the victims of constant mistreatment, always surrounded by difficult people who just don't understand them. But the truth is, they are the common denominator. The chaos is not happening to them, it is happening because of them. They create conflict for two reasons: control and amusement. When people are fighting, when relationships are unstable, when emotions are running high, they feel powerful. They stir the pot, playing both sides, feeding half-truths to one person while acting innocent with another. They make accusations, spread doubt, and then step back, watching as everything unravels. And when the dust settles, they are never the ones blamed. They position themselves as the reasonable one, the misunderstood one, the person caught in the middle of other people's drama. But in reality, the drama was theirs all along. It is their nature, their way of life. They cannot function without conflict, because peace leaves them without purpose. They thrive in chaos, and if there is none, they will create it. Because in their mind, a world without conflict is a world where they have no control. Sign 9. They exploit your secrets. They encourage you to open up, to trust them, to share the parts of yourself that you hide from the world. At first, they seem like a safe place. They listen intently, offering comfort, nodding in understanding, making you feel like you have finally found someone who truly cares. They make you believe that your secrets are safe with them, that your vulnerabilities are not weapons but bonds that strengthen your connection. And so you let your guard down. You tell them about your fears, your regrets, the things you have done that you are not proud of, the pain that lingers in your heart. You believe they will hold these truths with care, but you are wrong. Because to them, your secrets are not sacred. They are currency, something to be used when the time is right. At first, they keep them hidden, waiting, watching, collecting every detail. They study which words make you flinch, which memories make you weak, which fears hold you hostage. And when the moment comes, When they need power over you, they use everything they have gathered. Sometimes it is subtle, a passing comment, a reminder of your past, a veiled threat disguised as a joke. Other times it is ruthless, a public betrayal, an outright exposure of the things you never wanted anyone to know. They twist your words, exaggerate your mistakes, turn people against you with the very things you once trusted them to keep. And when you react, when you express your hurt, they feign innocence. "I didn't mean it like that. You're overreacting. I thought we were close enough to joke about this." They act as if they have done nothing wrong, as if you are the one being too sensitive. But the truth is, they knew exactly what they were doing. Because to them, trust is not something to be honored, it is something to be exploited. And once you realize this, once you understand that your deepest truths were never safe with them, it is already too late. They have what they need, and they will use it whenever it suits them. Sign 10. They are never satisfied. No matter what they have, no matter how much they take, it is never enough. You can give them your time, your energy, your love, your loyalty. You can bend over backward to meet their needs, to keep them happy, to make them feel fulfilled. But they will always want more. Their hunger is endless, an abyss that can never be filled. At first, they make you believe that if you just try a little harder, if you just give a little more, they will finally be satisfied. But that moment never comes. The goalpost keeps moving, the expectations keep shifting, and the more you give, the less they appreciate. What once made them happy no longer excites them. What once felt like enough is now barely the bare minimum. They make you feel like you are always falling short, like no matter what you do, you are never quite good enough, and so you keep trying, pouring more and more of yourself into someone who will never be content, who will never be grateful, who will never stop demanding more. Their dissatisfaction does not come from a lack of love, success, or opportunity. It comes from within them. They could have everything, and still they would feel empty. They could be surrounded by people who adore them, and still they would feel unfulfilled. They could achieve every goal they set, and still they would be searching for something more. They are not capable of appreciating what they have, because their sense of worth is built on always wanting, always needing, always craving something that remains just out of reach. And the worst part is, they make their dissatisfaction your problem. If they are unhappy, it is your fault. If they feel unfulfilled, you must not be doing enough. If they are restless, they need something or someone new to chase. But the truth is, it is not about you. It never was. No amount of love, effort, or sacrifice can satisfy someone who refuses to be satisfied. And in the end, the only thing you are left with is exhaustion, emptiness, and the realization that no matter how much you gave, it was never going to be enough. The truth is, these people walk among us hidden behind masks of charm, kindness, and false sincerity. They do not come into our lives with obvious warnings or clear signs. They come as friends, as partners, as colleagues, as people we think we can trust. And before we know it, they have entangled themselves into our hearts and minds, feeding off our kindness, manipulating our emotions, taking everything they can without remorse. They twist reality, distort truth, and make us question ourselves, all while ensuring they remain in control. They are masters of deception, hiding behind lies and half-truths, painting themselves as victims while quietly causing destruction. They do not seek love. They seek power. They do not form genuine connections. They create attachments they can exploit. Their joy does not come from building, it comes from watching others break. And no matter how much you give, how much you forgive, how much you sacrifice, it will never be enough for them, because their hunger is insatiable, their emptiness unfillable, their need for control never-ending. They drain, they divide, they isolate. And when they have used you up, they move on to someone new, leaving behind only wreckage and regret. But you do not have to be their victim. You do not have to stay trapped in their games. The moment you recognize them for what they are, The moment you stop excusing their behavior, stop hoping they will change, stop believing that if you just try a little harder they will finally treat you right, that is the moment you begin to take your power back. You are not weak for trusting, for loving, for wanting to believe in the good in others. But you must also recognize when someone is taking advantage of that goodness, when someone is using your kindness as a weapon against you. And when you do, you must have the strength to walk away. Because the truth is, you deserve better. You deserve relationships built on mutual respect, trust, and love. You deserve people who give as much as they take, who stand by you not just when they need something, but because they genuinely care. You deserve peace, not chaos. Clarity, not manipulation. Strength, not exhaustion. And the moment you stop entertaining those who thrive on taking from you, the moment you choose yourself over their endless demands, is the moment you step into the life you were always meant to have, one free of their control, their deceit, and their destruction. Stay vigilant, trust your instincts, guard your heart, but never lose its kindness. There are those who will cherish it, those who will respect it, those who will love you without agenda. Find them, hold on to them, and let the rest go. Thank you for listening. Stay strong, stay aware, and may you always walk in wisdom and light. God bless you.